Ladies and gentlemen, the world we live in is governed by numbers. We find them in our everyday transactions, in our discussions, our politics, our science, our business models, and our economies. Numbers are pervasive and they shape our worldviews more than we often realize. However, the real power of numbers lies not merely in their existence, but in the way they are presented. So today, let's delve into the art of presenting numbers, or as I like to call it, the art of making numbers count. Think back to the last business presentation that you have been experiencing. How many of you found it challenging to decipher the tables, the charts, and figures presented? How many of you found your attention was wavering halfway through the presentation filled with dry statistics? This experience is all too common. But why should it be that way? Numbers are the language of certainty, of specificity, and of quantifiable progress. Yet, they can sometimes seem distant, sterile, and even tedious. This is where we need to intervene and weave a narrative around the figures, adding meaning, context, and relatability. Let me share with you a fascinating example from the realm of economics. Let's imagine the GDP of a country, a raw number, say $23 trillion. It feels enormous, abstract, and difficult to comprehend. But what if we break it down per person? $62,000. It becomes relatable. If we further break it down into sectors, it becomes a story of industries, of labor, of productivity. Suddenly that vast, ungraspable number is a tale of individuals, their efforts, and their contributions to society. The same can be seen in the world of sports. Consider a basketball game. Merely presenting numbers such as the score or the number of fouls can provide a bare-bones understanding of the game. But when we dive deeper into the metrics like field goal percentages, rebounds, and assists, and pair these figures with vivid accounts of the gameplay, we transform cold stats into an exciting narrative. An equally compelling example lies in the realm of healthcare. An understanding of numbers here is not only crucial, it can be life-saving. For instance, consider the numbers associated with the COVID-19 pandemic. Raw data on the number of cases or fatalities was important, yes, but it was the analyses and visualizations, the curves, the heat maps, the R values that provided an in-depth understanding of the pandemic's dynamics. These numbers, rightly presented, shaped public policy and guided our collective response to a global crisis. Presenting numbers effectively is all about connecting with your audience, understanding their perspective, and using that to guide your narrative. Let me give you another example. If you want to convey the urgency of climate change, you might present the fact that global temperatures have risen approximately 1.1 degrees Celsius since the pre-industrial era. But does that number alone make an impact? To make this number count, we could compare it to the temperature of the human body, explaining that a similar rise in body temperature would be considered a fever. Whether we are addressing business executives, policymakers, educators, or the public, our challenge is to make these numbers speak to them, to resonate with their experiences, their fears, their aspirations and hopes. To do so, we must present these numbers with context, relevance, and emotion. So how do we make numbers count? We humanize them. We paint pictures with them. We tell stories through them. We make them tangible, palpable, relatable. When we effectively present numbers, they cease to be abstract concepts or dry statistics. They transform into potent tools that can inspire action, shape decisions, and change the world. In closing, remember this. Numbers in themselves are neutral entities. They don't elicit joy or dread, enthusiasm or despair. And our jobs, whether we are accountants, communicators, educators, or leaders, is to imbue these numbers with meaning, to connect them to our shared human experience, to make them count. We stand on the precipice of a data-driven era. Every day, our world generates an astonishing amount of data, a veritable ocean of numbers. Our ability to interpret, understand, and effectively present these numbers will dictate our future course. Let's ensure that we present our numbers in ways that make them count, in ways that make them tangible, relatable, and actionable. When we master the art of presenting numbers, we don't just provide information. We spark curiosity, we foster understanding, we facilitate decisions, and inspire action. So let's commit to making every number count for our audiences, for our communities, and for our world. Ladies and gentlemen, as we go forth, let's remember that numbers have the power to inform, inspire, and influence, but only when they are rightly presented. Let's make our numbers count.